Hello class. Today I'm going to teach you how to work with negative exponents. So I'll teach you the why about why we're doing this when I'm actually up front teaching, but for now I just want to show you the how. So for this first term you need to know that's reciprocal. You've probably heard that before, reciprocal, but I'm going to just show you what it is. So if you have a fraction of 4/5 and you're asked to find the reciprocal, basically you're going to flip the fraction. So your 5 as your denominator becomes your numerator, and then you guessed it, the numerator becomes the denominator. So we go from 4/5 to 5/4, and that's the reciprocal. Now if we've got 3, so say we have just the whole number of 3/1, and you're asked to find the reciprocal of that, then it's the same concept, but instead of it being 3/1, for that reciprocal, your denominator becomes your numerator, and your numerator becomes your denominator. That's basically the idea behind a reciprocal. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how to convert negative exponents to positive exponents. If you'd like to follow along, I'm in your book on page I'm in your book on page 44, and I'm going to do examples 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you want to take notes, now's a good time to pause the video, get the book out, and then follow along. So basically for number 1, we have 6 to the negative third power. Now you don't want to have a negative exponent. Like I said, I'll explain why later. So basically to turn this into a positive exponent, you're going to do 2 steps. The first thing is that you're going to change 6 to 6/1 just to make sure that it's a fraction. And you're going to find that reciprocal. So it would be 1/6. That's step 1. Take the reciprocal. Second step is to change your negative exponent to a positive exponent. So here we've got negative third power, and so when we take that reciprocal, it will become 1/6 to the third power. Negative sign is gone. You've achieved what you're looking for. Now moving on to number 2, you can see that we have a to the negative 5th power. So we're going to do 2 steps. We're going to find the reciprocal and change the sign of the exponent. So we would write this as 1/a to the 5th power. Notice how the sign has changed once we write the reciprocal. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to change a positive exponent into a negative exponent. And if you're thinking, well, okay, so to change a negative exponent to a positive, we just find the reciprocal. Well, the same thing goes with a positive exponent if you're trying to make it negative. So for number 3, we've got 1/5 squared. So to change that into a negative exponent, we're going to write the reciprocal. So we'll put our denominator on the numerator, and then we'll change the sign to negative. Alright, so for the last one I want to do with you guys. For number 4, we've got 1/36, and we're asked to write each fraction as an expression using a negative exponent other than -1. So if I asked you to change 1/36 to having a negative exponent, then what you do is, 36 has an exponent of 1. So you'd flip the fraction and you'd end up with 36 to the negative 1st power over 1. However, that example asks for you to write this with an exponent other than -1. So what you're going to do is you're going to really try to break this down. So the first thing we can say is that, alright, we know that 6 times 6 is 36. So 6 squared is 36. So you could write this as 1/6 squared, because you know that 6 times 6 is 36. So this is the same thing as 1/36. Alright, so you're in the clear, but now you need to write this with a negative exponent. So again, you're going to find the reciprocal, and then you're going to change the sign. So 1/6 squared would become, if you were writing this with a negative exponent, 6 to the negative 2nd power over 1. Notice how we've found the reciprocal and changed the sign. You can go back and forth between this. It's just you have to read what the question is asking you to do. Alright, so I'm going to have you try this on your own. Please try E through H on page 44, and then when you're done, I want you to check your answers by watching the next video that I have posted. Good luck!